EmpireFence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit Empire-Fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Have a passion for the outdoors? Nebraska Game and Parks is seeking seasonal teammates. Work in scenic state parks, contribute to vital research projects, and care for our natural spaces. Seasonal staff assist with special events, provide customer service to outdoor enthusiasts, and make a difference for conservation. Join the adventure at outdoornebraska.gov. Apply online today. Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Old School with DP and J.
Everybody's going to focus on his intensities and antics. I think he would be just fine because Billy Donovan is doing well, right? And he's intense as all get out. But how do you think he would transition to the NBA as a coach? And then also, what does this tell you about the Lakers?
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to it. On a Tuesday night, it's always really cool to be able to join you. Hope you're safe in this weather that's out here. There's some real stuff going on. 402-464-5685, the Starter Heyman text line if you want to be a part of what we're doing. We're going to have, when you have the running rebel in, the conversation can go in any direction. So we warn you in advance that will be all over the place because, quite frankly, that's the best way to do it. That's the best. Everett Gray is just off the cuff and letting him tell stories as best he can. But before we bring him on, there is only one way to do so.
Here's a guy that gives them more depth at UNLV. Evric Gray, he brings 9 points off the bench for Coach Tarkanian in less than 20 minutes of play in a game. Here he'll have a chance Oh, as he goes up for the dump, Miller takes a piece of the arm. Two on Miller now. Team foul number 5. Here's another basketball player with a baseball background. He was a third-round pick of the Astros in '87 was Evric Gray.
The Running Rebel himself, Evric Gray, joins us on One-on-One. EG, what's happening, baby?
What's going on, DP? I was just watching a little hockey. Don't tell anybody I like hockey.
Well, that you did spend some quality time in Canada, so yeah, that makes sense.
Let me give you a quick story, DP. You said about
Please do.
So I lived in Hermosa Beach, where I'm from, and my neighbor was Brendan Shanahan.
Nice.
And so I used to go to some hockey games sometimes. So I got into hockey back in the day when, the Kings back in the day. So
that's always that thing. You don't think you said Canada, but the reality is California has grown a market, and I find it interesting always. I love what Gretzky and the Kings did for that market, because otherwise it was barren, man. It was
terrible. It was a Lakers town, and then Gretzky came and shook it up a little bit, not too much, but he shook it up a little bit. DP.
Well, listen, okay, so I'm gonna put you on the spot here, because this was kind of a day of best of, and we will pay proper tribute to Willie Mays here in a second, but through this, so in California, in LA, Gretzky is the GOAT as far as hockey in Los Angeles. Fair?
Right. True.
Okay. Dodgers. Best Dodger ever.
Me personally?
You personally. And you cannot be wrong. There's no way you're getting it right. So go for it.
Yeah, DP. You put me on the spot. I'm not going to say Fernando Mania, but I was an Earl Hershiser fan.
You're a Hershiser guy. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I was a pitcher too. I wore 55 one year because of him, but he was a really good Dodger. I like Steve Garvey. Dude, you can't, Gibson with the home run with the allegedly hurt groin. I know my baseball. Obviously my intro, baseball was my first sport, DP. So, but I'm gonna go. Hershiser was my.
And that wasn't even the toughest one ever, Gray, because when it comes to the Lakers,
I can tell you right now, Worthy was my guy.
That is so Evric Gray to not, like, I would have wagered a pretty good sum that you would have said captain.
We all love Cap, but remember, I'm like 6'7", 6'8", Worthy, similar, same moves. I used to try to emulate him as a kid. And back in the day when I was little, my sister lives in Inglewood, and I was in LA this past weekend visiting her, but we used to sneak into the Forum. When you're a little 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, you can kind of get in, if you know what I mean. It was ways, but Worthy was my guy. And I wore 42 sometimes if I can get it, because everybody wanted to be Worthy as a kid.
Why 23?
In college?
Yeah.
I didn't pick it. Larry Chen. No, Larry Chen. Always like single numbers. So, but Larry Chen, my guy, he gave me number 23, and I just wore 23.
You had to stick with it. Like that was it. And no reason to change it once you became a senior and became
not a big DP. I'm not a big into numbers. Kids get into it. I need this number. Is it going to make you score 30? I always tell them, it's like, if you can average 30 wearing this number, I'll love to give you this number, but who gives a crap what number you wear? But he gave me 23, and I rock with it. And not too many, only 2 people wore 23 at UNLV, Reggie Theus and myself.
That's why I asked. I didn't know if there was a tribute in this thing. Does Reggie get talked about enough?
Yeah, I think he needs more kudos, because I think he was a really good player. I still talk to Reggie because he's the head coach at Bethune-Cookman, I think, in Florida.
Yep.
So him and I is the only one that actually wore that number, 23. They haven't given I was the last guy to wear it. And I don't know why, but no one ever picks that number. So,
Well, there's several reasons why that number isn't chosen. Nobody wants that smoke, man. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that responsibility of having to play at the level of 23. Evric Gray, former UNLV Running Rebel, NBA veteran. Ev, it's a thing, right? So I asked, and kind of was leaning into it. I need for GM Evric Gray, right? I need for you, the mastermind, to put together the perfect NBA basketball team. Right? So
NBA nowadays,
NBA, well, I mean, listen, you're building it, so it's your legacy. So it doesn't matter what era you want them to play in. This is because I think that your all-time great team versus your current team, and then to ask who would win, because there's that. Let's start with the current NBA. Who's your 5?
My 5?
Yep.
See, I like big wings, so you gotta. And I'm a big fan of Danny Ainge, and Danny Ainge, his handprints is all over the NBA at this point until they break up that Boston situation.
Okay.
I like taller wings. I'll go with Tatum. If we're gonna go younger, I'll go with Tatum. I like bigger guards. And I like bigger wings. I like Halliburton from Tyrese from Indiana. He's 6'7". He can play the point. I'm a big fan of switching DP on certain things. I'll go with guys that can defend because I like guys that can score it and defend. I like Brown too. I'm going to go young. And Halliburton, I like Drew Holiday. I know they just won DP. I'm not trying to hop on the bandwagon, but I just like bigger guards that can score and defend. I think I told you, DP, when it came to Dallas, I talked to Jason a little bit last night. It's just Luka has to defend. Now, can he score the ball? Absolutely. He can score the ball, but he got to be able to defend. And it was just a bad matchup for him because you couldn't hide him. They tried to hide him a little bit, and Derek White can score it because I like bigger guards. People don't realize, DP, Derek White's 6'5".
Yeah.
You know, Drew is 6'5" and a grown man, and you got Jason and Jalen at 6'8", 6'9", and then you got Al. And so they couldn't really hide him. So I'm a big fan of big where we can switch, where I don't have any problems. Because nobody really posts up anymore, DP. It's just those days. It's just that they don't do that anymore. So I did mention to some people in Dallas because I just, I didn't want to bother Jason with some of the stuff I thought of, putting Luka on Al. But all they did, they tried that once and they just went to a pick and roll and they switched everything. Nobody fights over pick and roll anymore, DP. So there's just a bunch of switching, and that's what the issue. So anything with a big lineup, I'm with it. It's just some of these guys are getting a little bit older. I know I got away from it a little bit, but LeBron is one of my favorite players, but he's getting older. You said current NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically taking 3 dudes from Boston, Shea, and maybe Tyrese Halliburton, and then a wing or big guy that can move a little bit. I go with Jokic because he's not a bad defender, but that's my 6. I know you want to 5. That's 6.
I will allow it. I will allow it. Now let's go to the all-time list. Give me your lineup.
Okay, you got to go with 23.
Okay.
And then you go with I go with Cap.
Okay.
And
now for those that don't know Evric and don't know, that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, we call him Cap in LA. We don't really call him. You go with Mike, Cap. Dang, DP. Mike, Cap. I'll go with Kobe.
Okay.
I'll play Kobe at the 3.
Okay.
And I got to give a shout out. And the best power forward is you can go either Carl or Tim, but I go Tim Duncan.
I wasn't sure you were going to do that. I
go Tim, and that's my starting five: Cap, Tim, 23, Kobe, and God, that's only 4. I go with Magic because I like bigger guys.
Okay. Now, who'd be 2? One time, everybody's at their peak.
At their peak?
Yep.
Shoot. Obviously, I go with 23. LeBron at his peak. Cap. I could go Wilt because Wilt changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely go with Wilt because people don't realize he used to jump from the free throw line. Free throws,
man.
I know that. That's why you can't do it anymore because he was just up. And then, man, DP, my last guy. There's so many great players. I go with Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Larry, nice, and he talked crap too. So and he wasn't a bad defender either.
Who were the best players you played against? Like actually in the league, the guys that you saw, and I know that that run.
Mm-hmm.
There are guys in the league that when you're out there, even as a running rebel, you kind of look around and go, okay, that's different.
Either in college and NBA. Obviously, I guarded 23. Jamal Masburn was a problem, DP. I played him. We played against them once. And back then, they had some really good small forwards back in the day. And every night, it was somebody that was different. So Jamal Mashburn was a problem. And people don't really know about him. Another guy that gave me problems with Lionel Simmons. I don't know if a lot of people know who he is.
He was a machine.
Yeah, he was a problem, and he was looking to score all the time. So a lot of small forwards that gave me some issues. Another guy that gave me issues that nobody really know, DP, that he passed away early. Bobby Fields was nuts.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I miss Bobby, man. Bobby was a specimen.
Mm-hmm. Bobby was probably 0 body fat but he taught me so much. And then when I came back and played against him, it was he was a problem. So obviously Scotty was good. The year I was with New Jersey, that was a year they won 73 games. They beat the crap out of us, but there's some really good players that people don't really know. That used to give me problems. Like Mitch Richmond gave me some problems. I was bigger than him, but he was smarter than me. So Mitch was a really good player, and there's just a bunch of underrated players that a lot of people don't know. The other ones that was a problem was Vince Carter. I played against Vince and Tracy when they was in Toronto when they were young, and they were a problem too.
Well, that's one of those ones that somebody asked the question, Penny, Apex Penny or Apex Tracy, right? That McGrady at his apex was he was just too tough to defend.
Right.
But Penny was a game changer. Like he changed the game in every way. As again, Magic 2.0, as people wanted to be mentally lazy. But I thought he was better defensively, and I thought that he was asked to do more. Of those two, who were the ones, man?
Out of Penny and
out of Penny at his best, Orlando Penny, and I kind of want to say later T-Mac, Houston T-Mac, when he was really putting in work.
Penny, man, Penny was. He didn't get hurt. He had knee issues. He will be up there with all those guys. I think Penny was nice. I mean, come on, man, little Penny. Nike don't put too much money behind you if you're not that guy. But don't get me wrong, Tracy was nice too. My only issue with Tracy, he just didn't guard like he should have with his size. That's why he moved around for many teams in his prime. But I'm gonna go with Penny. Penny, Anthony was a problem, and he was a very good player. He knew when to score. He knew when to get the ball to Shaq. And I wish actually they wouldn't break up, but I think Shaq had his own agenda moving to LA, and then he did a great move for his career off the floor by moving to LA. But I'm gonna go with Penny.
What was the better? I was asked this weekend, and I thought of you immediately. I was asked about the different versions, of course, with the passing of Jerry West. There were lots of questions, and I said that the first big three was that Lakers team with Wilt, Jerry, and Elgin Baylor. I said Elgin Baylor may be the greatest player we don't talk about on a regular basis, right? That three. If I said that it's West and Wilt or Elgin and Wilt versus Kobe and Shaq, yeah, what are you choosing? Who are you throwing out on the floor?
You got to go with Kobe and Shaq because they won more championships. But you got to realize you got to go rewind it back to '69, DP, because I'm into basketball, and Cap when he was in Milwaukee with is it Bobby Dandridge?
That group with Oscar, Bobby Dandridge, the Greyhound, man, and he's another one in that Elgin category of folks that we don't talk about enough. Bobby Dandridge was Norfolk State's finest, man. Let's get it.
I'll throw some names out. He was the first. Yeah. So with Luau back then, that's what his name before Cap. But that '69 team with Milwaukee was a problem with those three. But I'm gonna go DP. Sorry for going back a little bit, but I'm gonna go with Kobe and Shaq. If they would have stayed together, I think they would have probably won about 5. And if Shaq would have stayed in shape, because that's Cole was on him all the time for being in shape, especially in the off season, because people don't realize Kobe was sneaky, man. I remember Ronnie Price told me a story, DP, about Kobe, about he's sneaky. He said he's sneaky, real sneaky, staying in shape. Like his whole house had a bunch of lift bars, and he did a bunch of. It was crazy what he did after games or in the preseason or in the off season, what he did. So, but if Shaq would have stayed in shape, and Shaq mentioned that too back in the day, that if he would have stayed in shape and been more motivated on the off season, DP, I think they would have won probably 5 together.
Isn't that? I mean, doesn't that bother you though, as a guy that followed that organization, that they let this stuff get in the way of real legacy? As much as we talk about him now, it would be an entirely different GOAT conversation if those two had gotten past. I mean, think about it. Shaq broke up him and Penny, and he broke up him and Kobe, and then the Celtics broke up right after him. Like, stop it! Like, come on, man.
Right. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, like, I think obviously you mature a little bit, and egos and all that stuff when it comes to the NBA. It's very interesting. But I think looking back, I know Shaq, because Shaq mentioned it, is like if he would have just been more mature and been a bigger person, they would have probably won 5, and then went from there. I mean, I think if they would have just been on the same page. And it would have been a beautiful thing in LA. And even though, Shaq, they love Shaq in LA still to this day, but winning 5 and however long they were going to be there, because Kobe wasn't even in his prime yet. And Shaq was just entering his prime. So I think they would at least got 5, DP. And it would have been.
That Shaq run was as good as there was, aside from 23. Like that Shaq MVP run was exceptional. Before we go to break, I want to ask you, I was asked this earlier this week as well. I'll ask you, the best NBA player to ever play that never won a ring.
Barkley.
Okay.
Barkley and Karl Malone. I'm going to go with that. And Stockton. I'm going to go. Those are the top 3s, DP.
If I had to make you choose between one of those members of the Utah Jazz, who had the better career?
Ooh, DP, why you do that?
Because I can.
because John had the ball in his hand, and Carl need John to facilitate, to get him where he needs to go, because his jump shot didn't come for a while. I'm gonna say Stockton.
Ooh, that sets a perfect table. That sets a perfect table. All right, we'll go to break. When we come back, hey, Ev, you got 4 minutes. That point guard position. I need you to rank the point guard position all time. Yep. When we come back, Evric Gray, UNLV, NBA here on One on One.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Have a passion for the outdoors? Nebraska Game and Parks is seeking seasonal teammates. Work in scenic state parks, contribute to vital research projects, and care for our natural spaces. Seasonal staff assist with special events, provide customer service to outdoor enthusiasts, and make a difference for conservation. Join the adventure at outdoornebraska.gov. Apply online today. Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Old School with DP and J.
Everybody's going to focus on his intensities and antics. I think he would be just fine because Billy Donovan is doing well, right? And he's intense as all get out. But how do you think he would transition to the NBA as a coach? And then also, what does this tell you about the Lakers?
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I think the plan is to go bigger at corner. You got to have bigger corners in this league because you got these receivers. You got to deal with Ohio State receivers. And I'm not saying small corners can't get it done, but small corners have to be extraordinary, right? They got to jump higher. They got to do things that bigger corners might not necessarily have to do. So, I mean, losing Ethan Nation, it's kind of a blow, but when you got to get down in scholarships anyway, it's not, man. They got to have their best guys, man.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA. With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Evric Gray, former UNLV running reb and NBA veteran on the horn, and we're talking hoops and greatness and otherwise. I do want to point this. Harrison is with us, and Ev during breaks, often we'll go back over something that was just said, and then we get into different space. But I was trying to explain to Harris. He asked me about Scottie Pippen, and I said, yeah, Scottie was Scottie, but to me, and people get mad when I say it, Ron Harper made such a sacrifice for that Bulls team. People forget how good he was.
Yeah.
When he was the number 3-2 guard in the league.
Yeah.
Coming in averaging 23 a game, he said, "No, I'll take the burden. I'll take better shots and I'll feed Mike and I'll eat it up defensively." But Ron Harper was a dude.
Yeah, I got a Ron story. Remember, I was with the Bulls too. So
yeah,
I remember that. So it was the year Mike was playing baseball. So we were let's just fast forward. We playing the Washington Bullets at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were down 2 with like 9 seconds to go. So I'm in the game. Let's fast forward to the night before. I've never told you. I think I told you this story, but I'm gonna tell your listeners this story. So we flew in from Dallas to play the Washington Wizards, or the Bullets, I should say. And I'm getting ready for bed. It's probably 11:30. Knock on the door. DP is Scotty. Is like, yo, we going out. I'm like, man, we play tomorrow. I got to get my rest. He was like, man, how much rest do you need? You play in 6 minutes. You play behind me. I was like, yeah, you're right. So I get dressed. So it's me, Ron, Scotty, Corey Blunt. We all go out, have a good time. But I end up playing 27 minutes that night instead of 6 or 10 or whatever. So anyway, so we're down 2 with like 9 seconds to go. Phil drives up a play. I'm supposed to come off a pick off Lou Longley. Longley is going to set a down pick for Ron Harper, but he got denied by Rex Chapman. And so I just came off. Then the next set was the next thing. All this is, he gives you like 5 plays in 1 play, right? So then the next, it was a pick and roll. Kevin Duckworth was guarding. Rest in peace, Kevin. Was guarding Luke. I came off a pick and roll, made the layup at the buzzer. It goes into overtime. And me and Ron almost got into a fight, DP, over it because he thought he was open. And I was like, if he was open, I would have threw you the freaking ball, numbnuts. So, but that was my Ron story. And people don't realize Ron Harper, before his ACL, back then, ACLs were different. Now you can tear your ACL and be back in 5 or 6 months. But he was a problem. He gave problems to Mike when he was with Cleveland. So sorry for getting off that little
Well, Harrison and I, that's the beauty of it. It's like we know Everett's got a story about most people in the NBA because you played against them all, you knew them all. Like that's just kind of how it works. And then I was explaining to him as well that early Cleveland Cavs team with Mark Price,
Brad Doherty.
Yeah, Brad Doherty, Larry Nance, Craig Elo, right? That
Rod Williams.
Yep. That if Jordan doesn't exist, if the Bulls don't exist, the Cavs may have gone on that run.
Yeah.
Because that group was just that good.
Yeah, they were very good. I mean, they were loaded. And growing up as a kid, watching Brad Doherty at North Carolina, along with King Rice and J.R. Reed and all those guys, he was a very good basketball player, and that team was good. It's just that Mike era, cost a lot of people for not winning a ring. So that's just what it is. But those Cavs teams are very good, and it was great to watch that era of basketball as Mike was growing as an NBA player, as a young NBA player.
Yeah, I think, the Pistons may have gone a little longer. I think the Lakers may have picked up another chip along the way, and maybe Portland. Some would say the Knicks, but I'm like, still. They didn't have another weapon. When we were having the best to never win a chip, Pat Ewing was in the discussion because he had less talent around him than anybody short of Allen Iverson and the Sixers. They both had to really play 1-on-5 basketball to get teams to the Eastern Conference Finals.
True.
It was a little different. Ev, I asked you about point guards. I need your best point guards, sir.
Okay, let me just verify. Let your audience know, DP, that a few of these people are not point guards. So, like, Steph Curry is not a point guard. Allen Iverson is not a point guard. So don't blow up DP's Twitter and all that crap.
They know better. They know better. They absolutely know better.
Those guys are great. So those guys are great. They're not points, they're twos. So my top four is tough though, but I got Irv, I got Magic at 1, Stockton. At 3, my opinion, I love Jason Kidd. He's like one of my favorite players. So I'm going to go Jason Kidd. We're talking about true point guards. There's a lot of them out there.
Is Zeke a true point guard?
Yeah, Zeke was a 2. That's my 4th. Isaiah Thomas was my 4th guy.
Okay, and this is when it gets saucy. This is where boots meet the ground. Okay, Everett Gray. Who is the last?
Mark Jackson.
That's I'm not even mad at that. Like, I'm not, because when you look at assists and style of play, and again, he did it with some teams that, quite frankly, didn't have a lot. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. Harrison, pull up the assist list.
Yeah, I think he's
all-time leaders assist.
All-time leaders in assists. Who are the top 5, kind sir, if you would, please? Because I think Evric will be vindicated.
Yeah, I believe it's like Mark Jackson in the top 5. I know Jason Kidd's there. I was Stockton.
Who you got, Harrison?
So this is an order. Number 1, we got John Stockton. Number 2, you're right with the Jason Kidd. 3, Chris Paul. 4, LeBron James. Number 5, you got Steve Nash. Number 6, Mark Jackson. 7, Magic Johnson. 8, Oscar Robinson. Number 9, Russell Westbrook. And 10, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, so I think Nash and Oscar would have been the 2 that some folks may lean against, but I understand because Oscar really wasn't a real point guard either, right? Not in the truest form.
I mean, is LeBron really a point?
No, he's not.
This is just all time,
right?
Yeah, that's just assists.
Yeah, so that's who I have. Especially
Nash over Mark Jackson or no?
Who?
Nash, Steve Nash.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but I like Mark. Nash was great too. I actually want to hear Steve Nash story.
Yes.
So I was at the Phoenix Suns when he got drafted. I signed a deal with the Phoenix Suns, and when his rookie year. So we had training camp, which was the worst training camp in the history of basketball. I think I went into camp in shape, and in 2 weeks I left out of shape. We didn't do crap. I can't even cuss, but you know what I mean, what crap mean. So myself, Steve, and Danny Manny drive into a AM/PM in Flagstaff, Arizona, because that's where we had our training camp because of the altitude, even though we didn't do crap. And then I went into a store. I'm not gonna give him some pub, but we went into a store. I didn't have my wallet on me. And he loaned me $42. So fast forward to like 5 years ago, I see him in Manhattan Beach. I'm like, Steve, what's up? He's like, what's up, B? I said, I owe you $42, man. 30 years later, almost 20, I don't even know how long ago, but he was like, nah, I'm okay. I think I'll I think I'll be okay without the $42. But I tried to give him $42 DP, because I don't like to owe him money. I don't like the guy I owe money.
Right.
That's my little quick Steve Nash story. But Nash and Mark Jackson, man, that's a tough one too. But the thing is that Steve had more weapons, especially when he was in Phoenix. Even when he was in Dallas, he had some guys around him, especially in Phoenix with Stoudemire and all those other guys he had, and Jason Richardson and that crew. He had Sean Marion. But I think what Mark did with what he had was I give a little slight nod to Mark Jackson.
That's I mean, because and you would appreciate this probably more than most, but so in my time in Utah, with the Utah Jazz Network, I always covered the opposing team.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because the rest of the league was black. So
right.
They, instead of me being in the Jazz locker room, I would always be able to get interviews with Shaq and everybody else, right? They go like, and then the first question was always, well, what are you doing in Utah? Like that, like it's the same thing I get in Nebraska, but hey, but
hey, DP, sorry,
yeah.
Don't forget about Kevin Johnson.
Close.
Kevin
right?
Johnson was nice too.
But does he lose credibility because people in the league didn't like him like that?
I didn't have any problem. He was my teammate too in Phoenix. Remember when I was there? So when I was there, at first we had Charles Barkley, then they traded him to Houston for Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Chucky Brown, and Mark Bryant. But they still had Kevin. So I'm almost like Kevin Bacon almost when it comes to basketball because I've been with so many teams. But I just thought Kevin was a really good point guard.
Look it up. I'm pretty sure he started like 4 or 5 All-Star games.
Yeah, he reminded me of Chris Paul a little bit. Chris Paul ain't the most liked guy in the league either. They're like the same personality, right? So they're almost on the same level. I think they're on the same trajectory on like personality wise, DP, when it comes to if you're liked or not.
Right.
But a lot of people didn't like Kevin because he was kind of, you could tell he always had one foot in and one foot out.
True.
Knowing he was going to be a politician. Because if you hear him talk a little bit, you knew he was going to kind of go do something outside of basketball, especially politic-wise. And I think he was mayor of Sacramento for a minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. No, that's all fair. Harrison, what'd you find out?
Yeah, we're trying. What do you want to get for stats on him?
All-Star,
All-Star appearances. Let's see. He was selected for 3 All-Star games and won 1 Most Improved Player award.
Okay, I thought the number was 4, but okay, I'm close to the. Okay, that makes sense, but that's where it is. All right, Ev. Here's what we'll do. We'll go to break. We'll come back. One, I'm going to ask you about Willie Mays.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah, no, the real Willie, the say hey kid. We'll leave Wesley Snipes alone for. We'll talk on another occasion. Right. Wesley Snipes, Evric Gray here on One on One.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Blecker and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment of One-on-One with Evric Gray. And Ev, I appreciate you, bro, coming in and breaking it down and getting us through it. Let me ask you a question before we get to Willie Mays. But what's next for the Dallas Mavericks? What do they need?
So, I think they have pretty much the pieces they need. They need to get a little bit better on the wing, a little bit bigger. Josh Green, I like Josh, but Josh Green is 6'4". If you want to be competitive a little bit to hide Luka and Kyrie a little bit, you're going to need to be guys coming off the bench a little bit bigger and more athletic and 3-and-D guys. I think PJ Washington is going to be fine. I think I think Derek Jones, he's a UNLV dude. I think he'd be a great addition coming off the bench. You need to keep him, try to figure out how you can sign him. But he had a pretty good run. It's going to be hard to keep him. So I just think they need to get a little bit more athletic. I think Luka needs to get in better shape, because if you look at Luka in the beginning of the season, it's kind of weird to me, DP, because how do you get out of shape in season? That means he's been hanging out a little bit, not eating the right way. Because if you look at his face, they say he's 6'7", 230. Yeah, whatever. He was probably close to 250. And if you notice in the games, DP, it was tough for him laboring getting back when you're a guard on defense. Because I went on some other shows, D. I'm not going to pub it, but if you notice, whenever he was trailing on defense, he would just point and pick. You take him, I'll just take this guy trailing, and it was a problem for Dallas when they was like saw him and they picked on him a lot. He didn't like that, and that's because his conditioning is not that good. So I just think they need some 3-and-D guys. They need some 6'9", 6'8", 6'7" guys that can defend and score at the same time and hide him as much as you can. But it was hard hiding him, DP, because all 5 of those guys can score the ball. And even Pritchard came in and attacked him, and Hauser attacked him. And so it was hard for him, and that was my prediction. I had picked Boston in 6, but they did it in 5.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the result of it. I was a little concerned just that they would get to a game 6, but I thought that would be it. What's next for the Celtics? What do they need to do? Do they add? Do they stand pat? What happens?
Well, I know they got to sign Derek White. I think he's up, DP. I don't know if they can afford him. I mean, they're going to give Jason $315. They just gave Drew $110 or something, $115. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is the highest paid NBA player at $304. I know the cap's going to go up, and I know they got a new TV deal, but most of those guys are coming back. I think they got to sign Derek, and I think they can make that work. But I think they should just stay packed. Maybe add another wing, because nobody posts up anymore, DP. So the thing is that Porzingis, hopefully he can stay, but he won't. You and I know he won't stay healthy. He's built like a supermodel, so he's always going to have issues with his body.
Well, but can't you change that?
What do you mean? That's just him. He's going to be Snoop Dogg. He's going to be skinny his whole life.
Yeah, he's just going to be. Okay. Look, all that's fair. all of that is fair. Hey, let's go to this conversation, because I want to say it was literally this weekend with a buddy of mine, Hoster Breezy. I was saying that my father used to challenge me on that. Contrary to popular belief, Willie Mays was the greatest baseball player to ever live.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, where does Willie fall in the list of greats when it comes to baseball?
He's before my time, but my dad used to talk about him, and then you watch highlights. I'm gonna say he was the best for sure center fielder in baseball all time.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5, I think he's top 5 because he has speed, power, and he can fill the position. So I'm gonna go top 5 at his position. Even though I'm a Dodgers fan, and DP, we don't really mess with
hater.
We don't really mess with Giants, but everybody know who Willie Mays is. So I think he's the top center fielder of all time. I think I'm going to go top 5 baseball players of all time.
Okay. And I lean heavily with what my stepdad said, that Willie Mays was the most complete baseball player to ever live.
Yeah, he was complete.
Like he was we talk about 5-tool, that he did everything in the game. He would have led the league in stolen bases if that's what his thing was, hitting power, 660 career home runs in a time where steroids was not a thing. To do that, to 12, all the Gold Gloves, all the Gold Gloves, right? Great base runner, hit for average. He did everything, and again, he's the kid, and tomorrow's going to be really tough. Tonight's tough,
right?
Tomorrow's going to be tough for baseball fans, because Willie was he's on everybody's Rushmore because he was such a good human. Like, he was a good person. There was no drama with Willie Mays. I'll ask you this because this is kind of the conversation in sports. And folks are talking about, well, basketball players and football players. And, some football players have said, I could cross over and hit 215 in baseball, et cetera. All right. So you're a 2-sport guy. You're a 3-sport guy because you I think you still have the California state records for receiving. I don't think those. I don't think those numbers are gone. And again, the idea of Evric Gray running down a seam, it seems a bit unfair to any high schooler, California or not. And then standing on a bump with the baseball in your hand doesn't seem much more fair either. But what is the tougher sport to excel at? Is it baseball? Or is it basketball?
It's baseball. The hardest, it just depends on, I was a pitcher, and the hardest thing to do, DP, you already know, is to hit a baseball. And I think baseball is probably, I can run a route right now, football.
Yeah.
Right. I can still, at my age, I can run a route. Does it, need your conditioning and all that good stuff when it comes to football.
Yeah.
But when it comes to basketball and baseball, that's more feel and touch and skill than any sport because of what you need to do. It's a reason why they have training camp for a month in Arizona and Florida, DP. And I think baseball is probably the hardest sport, especially hitting. The hardest thing to do because these guys are bringing heat. And they got movement on their fastball. That's the hardest thing to do. And then all the other stuff that comes with baseball. So me personally, crossing over to baseball is really hard. I don't know what the hell Austin Rivers was talking about. That guys can get. Yeah, it just depends. You notice what I said. I can go run a route. But I'm talking about the other stuff where if you're in the box hitting dudes and this and that, and that next morning you're going to feel like crap. But it's just I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but I think baseball is the most skilled sport that you need feel and touch, and you need to work at it, and that's the hardest sport to try to cross
I do
over.
not disagree. I literally, the reason I chose baseball over track and football was because everybody said it was the toughest thing. You'll never have success on the college level. And I said, okay, fine. That's what I'm going to do. Ev, we'll do it again next week, brother. Appreciate you. That is Evric Gray, UNLV, NBA veteran, and a really cool guy. Ev, thank you, kind sir.
All right, stay black. I'll talk to you.
I got no choice. Stand tall, Harrison. Get us through Ticket Weeknights, brother.